On the wedding altar, the bride's trembling hands freeze as her adopted father coldly orders her to marry the unknown mechanic, his voice echoing through the silent church as guests stare in shock. Tears stream down her face as she looks into the mechanic's calm yet unreadable eyes, her lips trembling while the audience behind her leans forward, whispering in disbelief at the forced union. The priest pauses mid-ceremony, his voice faltering as the adopted father's cold stare forces him to continue, while the bride's fingers tighten desperately around the mechanic's hands. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. As the vows are forced out, a sudden silence falls when the mechanic unexpectedly looks directly at the father, his calm gaze shifting into quiet defiance that no one saw coming. The bride's breath catches as the mechanic gently steadies her shaking hands, his touch unexpectedly reassuring, creating a silent moment that confuses everyone watching. The priest finally completes the vows, his voice shaky as the bride barely whispers her acceptance, while the mechanic speaks firmly, his tone calm, yet carrying an unexpected authority. As they step away from the altar, the bride suddenly pulls her hand back, her face filled with silent anger and pain, while her father watches without a hint of remorse. Outside the church, under harsh daylight, the bride confronts her father in a tense whisper, her voice breaking as she demands to know why he ruined her life in front of everyone. The father leans closer and coldly reminds her of her debt to him, revealing in a low voice that everything she has belongs to him, leaving her frozen in disbelief. Before she can respond, the mechanic steps forward calmly and opens the car door for her, his composed gesture contrasting the chaos, silently asking her to trust him just once. The bride hesitates for a long moment, her tearful eyes locked on the open car door, before slowly stepping forward, her heart heavy as she silently accepts the unknown path ahead. Inside the moving car, silence fills the air as the bride stares out the window, her reflection merging with her tears, while the mechanic drives calmly without saying a single word. Breaking the silence, the mechanic gently offers her a bottle of water, his voice low and respectful, creating a small moment of unexpected kindness in the tense atmosphere. She takes the bottle with trembling fingers, whispering a faint "thank you," her guarded expression softening slightly as she begins to sense something different about him. The car suddenly stops in front of a modest-looking workshop, and the bride looks up in confusion, realizing this is where her new life is supposed to begin. She steps cautiously into the workshop, her white dress contrasting sharply with the greasy floors and scattered tools, her eyes scanning the space with disbelief and quiet disappointment. The mechanic quietly walks past her and begins working on an unfinished car, as if nothing unusual has happened, leaving her standing alone in confusion inside the unfamiliar space. Frustration builds as she finally speaks, her voice shaking with anger, demanding to know why he accepted such a humiliating marriage without even questioning it. He wipes his hands calmly with a cloth and looks at her without irritation, his steady silence making her anger feel louder and more helpless in the echoing workshop. Finally, he speaks in a low voice, telling her she is free to leave any time, his unexpected words hitting her harder than any force ever could. She stands frozen for a moment, his words echoing in her mind, then slowly turns away, her anger fading into confusion as she realizes he is not what she expected. Without saying another word, she walks toward the corner of the workshop, her footsteps echoing softly as she tries to gather her thoughts in the unfamiliar silence. The mechanic steps outside and makes a quiet phone call, his tone suddenly firm and authoritative, completely different from the calm man she just argued with. Inside, the bride notices a small, clean room behind a curtain, surprisingly neat and organized, contrasting sharply with the messy workshop outside. She gently sits on the edge of the bed, exhaustion finally catching up to her guarded expression softening as silence replaces the chaos of the day. Late evening settles in as the mechanic quietly enters the small room holding 2 cups of tea, placing one beside her without a word, his presence calm and unexpectedly respectful. She hesitates before taking the cup, her fingers brushing against his. Briefly, a quiet moment of connection forming as her guarded expression softens slightly. Sitting across from her, he finally speaks, explaining quietly that he never forces anything in his life, and that today's marriage was not his choice either. His phone vibrates suddenly, and as he answers, his tone shifts instantly into a firm, commanding voice, speaking about deals and numbers that don't match his simple life. After the call ends, she looks at him differently, suspicion growing in her eyes as she begins to realize there is something hidden beneath his quiet and humble appearance. The next morning, sunlight filters through the dusty workshop windows as she wakes up still in her wedding dress, realizing she spent the entire night in a stranger's world. She steps outside into the workshop and pauses in surprise as she sees the mechanic already working, his focus intense, as if he carries a responsibility far beyond this place. A sleek black luxury car suddenly arrives outside, its polished surface reflecting sunlight, completely out of place in the rough surroundings, catching her full attention instantly. 2 sharply dressed men step out of the car and walk inside confidently, ignoring her presence as they approach the mechanic with immediate respect. She watches in disbelief as the mechanic straightens his posture and speaks to them with quiet authority, his entire presence transforming into someone powerful and completely unfamiliar. One of the suited men hands him a file respectfully, and he signs it without hesitation, his calm confidence making it clear that he is far more than just a mechanic. The bride steps closer, unable to hold back her curiosity, her eyes fixed on him as she realizes the power dynamic has completely shifted without warning. Without acknowledging her, the mechanic gives a brief instruction to the men, his tone firm and decisive, as they immediately turn and leave without questioning him. As the luxury car drives away, silence returns, but now it feels heavier, filled with unspoken questions that the bride can no longer ignore. She turns back toward him and finally demands the truth, her voice steady but filled with emotion, refusing to remain in the dark any longer. He looks at her silently for a long moment, then turns away without answering, walking deeper into the workshop, as if her question holds no urgency for him. Frustrated, she follows him quickly, her footsteps echoing louder now, her voice rising as she refuses to be ignored any longer in this strange, controlled world. He suddenly stops near a hidden steel door at the back, his calm demeanor returning as he glances at her briefly before unlocking it without explanation. The door opens to reveal a modern security room filled with monitors and screens, glowing softly in the dark, completely contradicting the simple mechanic life she believed. She stares at the screens in disbelief, her breathing slowing as the reality sinks in, realizing that the man she married is hiding a life far beyond anything she imagined. One of the monitors suddenly switches to a live feed of her adopted father sitting in a luxurious office, speaking angrily on the phone, completely unaware he is being watched. Her eyes widen as she realizes he has been watching her father all along, the truth hitting her harder than anything before, making her step back in disbelief. The mechanic calmly explains that her father has been manipulating powerful deals and using her as leverage, his voice steady as if revealing a long-kept secret. He shows her another screen revealing hidden financial transactions, numbers scrolling rapidly, exposing a dark network that connects directly to her forced marriage. Tears form in her eyes again, but this time not from helplessness, as anger begins to replace her fear, realizing she was never just a daughter, but part of a calculated plan. She wipes her tears slowly and turns toward him with a new strength in her eyes, asking what he plans to do next. Her voice no longer weak, but filled with purpose.
How loud it is in here.
He pauses briefly, then reveals that everything is already in motion, his calm tone carrying the weight of a plan that has been unfolding long before their marriage. Another screen lights up, showing a luxury hotel lobby where her father is arriving with security, unaware that every step is being tracked in real time. The mechanic grabs his keys and walks out with purpose, his expression now fully commanding, as if stepping into a role he has hidden for far too long. She hesitates for only a second before following him into the car, choosing to trust him now, her fear replaced by a growing determination to face the truth together. The car speeds through the city streets as tension builds, the bride gripping her dress tightly while the mechanic drives in intense focus. His silence now filled with purpose. They arrive at a luxurious hotel entrance where security guards stand. The sharp contrast from the workshop, making her realize the scale of the hidden world she has stepped into. Inside the hotel lobby, the mechanic walks ahead with confidence while she follows,
and pretend that I'm alright. It's raining deep inside my heart,
without question.
but I
They
don't
stop
let
near a
it
private
show.
elevator as one of
I
the
just
guards
stand here
immediately
in the
unlocks the door,
silence while I
confirming
watch
without
you
words
let me
that
go.
he holds power far
You're walking
beyond
with
what she knows.
somebody
As
else,
the elevator doors
like I never
close, she looks
crossed your
at him
mind.
again, her voice
And I'm
steady
drowning
as she
in
asks
this
if he plans to
feeling
confront her
that I'll
father,
never
ready now to
leave
face whatever truth awaits them upstairs. The elevator doors open to a private luxury floor, dimly lit with golden tones, where silence feels heavier, and every step forward carries the weight of an unavoidable confrontation.
I will call your
They
name
walk
out
down
loud.
the long corridor,
I won't ask you to stay
her
now.
breathing steady but tense,
If you're
while
happy
he
where
moves
you
with
are,
calm precision,
I'll
as if
just
every
fade
second
into
is
the
already
crowd.
planned in his mind. They stop outside a
raining deep
large
inside
suite door
my heart,
guarded by security,
but I
who
don't
immediately
let
step
it show.
aside upon seeing him,
I just stand
confirming his
here in the
authority
silence
without a single
while I
word
watch
spoken.
you let me
He
go.
opens the door slowly,
You're walking
revealing
with
her adopted father
somebody
inside
else,
mid-conversation,
like I never
his
crossed
expression
your
turning from
mind.
anger to
And I'm
shock
drowning
as
in
their
this
eyes meet
feeling
unexpectedly. The room falls silent
that
as
I'll
she steps
never
forward,
leave
her eyes
behind.
locked on him, no longer afraid, ready to face the man who controlled her life for so long. Her father's voice rises defensively as he demands to know what this means. But for the first time, she doesn't step back, her gaze steady and unshaken. The mechanic steps forward calmly and places a file on the table, sliding it toward her father, his movement controlled,
quietly,
signaling that the real conversation has just begun. As her father opens the file, his confident expression slowly collapses into fear, the documents revealing undeniable proof of his hidden dealings and manipulation. He tries to deny everything, his voice cracking under pressure, but the mechanic interrupts him quietly, revealing he has already exposed everything to authorities. Silence crashes into the room as distant sirens begin to echo outside, the reality of consequences finally reaching her father as his power begins to crumble. The door bursts open as authorities enter the room with urgency, their presence overwhelming, while her father steps back in fear, realizing there is no escape plan. As they take her father into custody, his once powerful voice fades into desperate excuses, but no one listens anymore, and his control finally slips away completely. The room falls into silence again as the door closes behind her, leaving her standing there, finally free from the weight she carried for years. She turns slowly toward the mechanic, her eyes filled with a mix of gratitude and disbelief, realizing he didn't just save her, but gave her a chance to live freely. He looks at her quietly and offers a small, reassuring smile. His powerful presence now softens as the tension between them finally transforms into understanding. She lowers her gaze slowly, then lifts it with quiet strength, her expression no longer broken, but steady, as if she has finally reclaimed control over her own life. Her father is taken away in the background, his voice fading into silence, while she stands still, choosing not to look back at the past that once controlled her. The mechanic steps beside her quietly, not saying anything, but his presence now feels like protection, not control, giving her the freedom she never had before. She takes a step forward toward the exit, then pauses and looks back at him, this time not with fear, but with a silent decision that changes everything between them. She walks back to him and stands beside him, choosing her own future at last. If you believe true strength is choosing your own path, like and subscribe for more powerful stories.